All praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Kodash, double honors to the elders and apostles of written stone. Shalom to the elect which in the spirit and truth and in sincerity. With hope of receiving mercy of Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai. Yahweh is the name of the Heavenly Father. Yahushai is the name of his only begotten Son. We so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans and Israelites according to the prophecies that are written in the scriptures. I want to make it known that the RFID microchip is a character written about Revelation 13 verse 16 on down, which is the MOTB. The miracle drug is a precursor to the charagma. Yahushai, whom dwell ignitely called Jesus, is about to make his return upon the earth to deliver his elect and to pour out judgment as it is written. So, this lesson is going into signs of the visitation of Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai. And this is just a quick video showing record-breaking things that are taking place right now, in which the common man now discern that these things are spiritually done by Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, so his servants may know and understand the times they're in. As is written in Matthew, I want to say 16, so you can discern the face of the sky, but you can't understand the signs of the times. And the signs of the times are very plain before our eyes. If you have discernment, and if you believe in the words of Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai. So this is Isaiah 39 verse 6, and it says, "Thou shalt be visited of Yahweh of hosts with thunder, and with earthquake, and with great noise, with storm and tempest, and the flame of devouring fire." And that devouring fire is going to come from the ICBMs. But you have fire taking place all around the world in various areas. And I'm going to run a clip showing you what's going on. World record storm.
Thank you for joining me. I'm meteorologist Brian Shields. In a world record, we do not like to see an all-time record for how long a system has survived. This is for anywhere on the earth. This is Freddy. This is a cyclone. Again, it's a severe kind of tropical storm, if you will, at this point, working its way through the Mozambique Channel. Again, today is day 32. Yesterday was 31, which tied Hurricane and eventually Typhoon John back in 1994 for the longest lasting tropical cyclone on Earth. Today is 32, and the issue with this is it's bad news to pass along. I always like to pass along good news, but this one, not good news, that this may be sitting out there for days and days. We are thinking of our friends in this region over toward Mozambique with, again, the onshore flow generally on the south side moving in, circulation clockwise in the southern hemisphere. There's Madagascar. Again, the forecast track taking it in. Winds right now with the live data coming in, 70 miles per hour. That's roughly 115, upwards of 120 kilometers an hour. And this is just sitting there. Let me show you the winds and then what happens next with this, and then I'll dive into that Caribbean forecast. Zooming down with that wind field, and you see the winds right on the core of this. Roughly, that's about 74 miles per hour. So that, again, is about 120 kilometers an hour. A very well-defined cyclone. This, again, the longest lasting, starting near Indonesia, made its trek as one of the strongest systems in the Indian Ocean, working its way through Madagascar, back to Madagascar, impacting Zimbabwe, South Africa, and Mozambique multiple times. Now, the issue is this may just kind of sit there. Let me get into just kind of, I'll put this into motion, a feel of what's going to happen with this system over the next few days. Let me roll this forward, and you see it just sitting there for days and days, slowly moving. So it is not just a record system. It is going to blow away the record, still intact for several days out. We could be dealing with this into next week. This could top 40 days, the potential of that. Such a slow mover. Some of the models want to keep it over the Mozambique channel longer. Some want to bring it in and hopefully have it fizzle out. Either way, some high impact central Mozambique for a lot of wind, a lot of rain with this system, and the potential of a slow mover over time. 4, 5, 6 days from now may still be sitting there. And again, if it moves slower over the Mozambique channel, it could last another 5 to 10 days. Hopefully it fizzles out over interior sections, but the model is showing some sort of circulation for days and days to come. We're thinking of our friends there. I will keep you posted on this. Right now, though, I want to dive back into the Caribbean, some big fronts headed in, and talk about hurricanes. Some of us had some rain yesterday. Jamaica, there was a point on this page where, on this channel, where the comments lit up, and I knew it was raining. I could tell. We were excited about that. Some spot.
And I'm out here in Jamaica, as you can hear the accent, in which we are going through a drought. And to severity is the leader of the country, Andrew Holness came out and said we're going through a drought and I'm going to mitigate this drought, meaning the severity of what's going on. So right now, the crops are not yielding, you see me, because there is no rain. And we have been talking about the famine for a minute now, the lack of produce, but people not seems to be aware of what's going on because they can go to them grocery stores and them shopping centers and them can find the shelves of food. But in days and months to come, it won't be so.
Over toward Manchester as we worked our way into Jamaica. We had a few showers yesterday. Slight chance today. Best chance southern tier. Old Front, Puerto Rico, British Virgin Islands, passing shower. Antigua and Barbuda, Anguilla may get 1 or 2. St. Kitts and Nevis, Cayman Islands, Jamaica, Cuba. We could see a few, and we had some showers as well. Comments were lighting up in parts of the Bahamas yesterday with some welcome news, getting some rain. Pulling forward, rain chance still not too terribly high today and tomorrow. So what I want to do is look ahead for you again into next week as we watch the fronts. Tomorrow overall, it's actually going to be drier. Colombia, Venezuela, Costa Rica, Panama, hit or miss shower. Guyana, Suriname, seeing some of those scattered showers tomorrow. But let's zoom ahead. All right, let's get into next week. I mentioned Tuesday to Wednesday, watching a front coming down from the United States, Bay of Campeche, better chance of rain. Mexico, swinging back toward parts of Cuba and the Bahamas. Look at that, my friends in the Bahamas, down through the Turks and Caicos. I hope this spills over a couple showers for Haiti, Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico, Jamaica, Cayman Islands, Belize, and Honduras because we need it. It'll be confined mainly toward northern and western zones, but at least by next week, the middle of next week, I've been talking about this for really several weeks now, that mid-March would be a little wetter, and there it is, that forecast holding true. Not as much, my friends, over toward St. Lucia, Barbados, Grenada, Trinidad and Tobago, St. Vincent, the Grenadines, and Aruba, but northern sections, western zones, next week at least, that chance of rain will be getting higher. Seas overall, nothing too crazy out there. It's actually been generally settled for the most part in comparison. Again, we have those higher seas near Colombia, Panama about a week ago. Things aren't looking bad, 1 to 2 meters for the most part. Of course, the Atlantic waters are choppier. Now, this is kind of a crazy map that I'm showing you here. I'm showing this for a reason because behind the scenes, I've been putting together a hurricane forecast for you for the upcoming season, and I go over a lot of maps that look like this. And one thing I've been seeing here, warmer water the last couple days over the last 7 days, but more so over the last long term in the Eastern Pacific. I always mention on this channel how things are tied together globally, and that's why I like to sometimes show you big pictures. This is telling me we're going to get into an El Nino phase, which may keep some of the numbers down as far as the amount of storms for the hurricane season, but the water temperatures have been very impressive in the wrong sense of the term, so that could, on the flip side, keep the numbers up. Point being, we're transitioning to an on.
Believe it or not, another storm system is on the way with areas in central and northern California under a flood watch. The rain has been falling in the Bay Area all afternoon, and snow levels are rising in the Sierra Nevada east of Sacramento. Here in Southern California, the rain could be dangerous for people in the San Bernardino Mountains, where there is still heavy snow from last week. CBS 8's Brian White is in Encinitas, where city crews have been working to repair a huge sinkhole. Brian?
Here in Cardiff, crews are hard at work repairing the massive sinkhole that opened up during the last storm. And with this new atmospheric river on the way, it could make this situation even worse.
That's really what caused it initially, was the multiple rainstorms. So that's what really blew it out.
Encinitas city crews have been making progress, moving utilities and shoring up the support structure underneath the road here on Lake Drive after damage from a ruptured stormwater pipe was made worse during the rains last month.
It's been so dry for so many years, and then we had a bunch of rain, and you never know how old those pipes are.
Another atmospheric river is bringing a massive storm system that will likely drench areas in central and northern California tonight and into the weekend, with 17 million Californians under flood watches. But most of those impacts will be to the north of us.
The primary impacts are going to be up in the San Bernardino Mountains. Unfortunately, fresh off of last week's blizzard that dropped feet on feet of snow to a lot of the mountain communities.
In the San Bernardino Mountains, many people's homes and cars have been trapped on all sides by snow that just keeps piling higher. People in Lake Arrowhead and other mountain communities have spent weeks with shovels in hand.
And get 3 to 5 inches, 5 to 8, and then 5 to 8 turned into a foot or more every 12 hours.
The San Bernardino County Sheriff's Office says at least one person was killed in the previous storm, while 11 others were found dead during welfare checks. Even after 2 weeks, people there are still struggling.
Probably about 1 million cubic yards to dig out. It's a daunting task.
Brian Adams with the National Weather Service here in San Diego says the added rain could be dangerous for places already buried in heavy snow.
Any houses that would potentially still have a lot of snow sitting on the roofs or anything like that, it's going to become really, really heavy.
He says we may see a quarter to half an inch of rain here in San Diego, mostly on Friday.
Really going to look like more of like a beneficial rain than anything else, just kind of enough to wet the ground, help our plants grow a little bit.
Even with the forecasted rain on the way, city crews for Encinitas say they're on schedule to have this sinkhole repaired in a few weeks. Brian White, CBS 8.
So as you can see, we have a lot of things transpiring concerning the weather, and it's gonna get worse. You're gonna have drought certain place, you're gonna have storms certain place, tornadoes certain areas, flooding certain areas, and these things are gonna escalate here because these things are gonna help to usher in the famine to come. So this was just a quick update on the weather, showing the different weather patterns taking place, and these, simple as I see them, they are all signs of the end. So hope this is really fine with that. I want to say Kalalam, Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai, Ba'asham Naka Kodesh. Shalom.